Hello everyone, I'm Gemma Beall. Welcome to Beyond Second Cognition. All of you have noticed that Endel has put together some scripts this evening talking about how we are controlled and manipulated through energetic means. So I would like to share my take on it from my perspective of seeing energy and working with energy the way that I do. I explained about my traits in my book, The Energy Experience. I don't just feel energy on my physical form. I can see it in my mind, sometimes with my eyes, and I have this TV screen in my head that I could see the energy basically in its raw form. There is a great difference between many kind of energies. Some move in a certain manner, some move in a different manner, and they're just as unique as individual people. Though most people, they could feel a shift of energy on their form, but they can't necessarily discern one differing energy from another. And in my book, The Energy Experience, I have a chapter in there called Reiki is Bullshit. And I'm sure I pissed off a lot of energy workers, especially Reiki people. But I want to take this opportunity to go more in detail about why I feel Reiki is bullshit. Because what I understood back when I wrote the book is not the level of understanding I have now, and I have more details about it that I'm writing in my Calling All Healers and Warriors book. Part of what I want to cover in this video goes in line with what Endel's talking about, these energetic programs. Now, one of the key features you see in religions and New Age and mystery schools, and I use that term loosely, is the overabundance of rituals. And I want to explain to you why rituals are necessary for those type people. Ritual, for all intents and purposes, is an energetic harnessing program. The whole point behind a ritual is equivalent to a lock and key. You have a padlock. If you want to lock something up, you put the padlock through the little hole for the padlock, and you close it and it's locked. And unless you have a key or some serious bolt cutters, you're not going to be able to access whatever is locked behind the lock. And that is what a ritual is designed for. These ancient rituals are put together with intent that goes in like this. Okay, I'm going to set a program, and I want this program to be a massive amount of energy. And when it's released, I want it to infect as many people as possible. So I'm going to spin around to the right 3 times, and I'm going to hop on both feet, and I'm going to spin around to the left 4 times, and I'm going to hop on 1 foot, and then I'm going to step forward, step back, and kind of do the little booty shake. And I close my ritual. So anytime somebody puts that combination together, they unlock that door. So you have all of these ancient rituals that require candles or fire or earth or the elements, north, south, east, west. That's really big in Wicca. They call the elementals, which are accessing the nature beings associated with the elements, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So when you put all of these together, you don't know what the fuck you're tapping into. They may say, oh, if you want to do a ritual for money, you perform this ritual, boom, you're going to get a lot of money. That could in fact be what the ritual is for, but it might not be. Just because the information says this is what it is, doesn't mean that's truly what it is. And if you think people can't lie to you, watch the fucking news. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So anyway, when you have these ancient texts, you've got the Necronomicon that is very big in rituals. You got the Nag Hammadi library, I think. I don't know. You'll have to ask Endel. I don't keep apprised of that shit. He's the ancient historian. But when you have all of these rituals, and these rituals are performed, that they're going to tap in something, but the performer of that ritual is not necessarily going to know exactly what they're tapping into. And this is really big in ancient mystery schools. So you've got all of these adepts or adept wannabes performing all these ancient rituals, and you have no idea what they're tapping into. Neither do they. but it can release a lot of ancient shit. Let's move up to the modern day. I'm going to use Reiki as an example. And this is something I did explain in my first book. And like I said, I am going into more details in my Calling All Healers and Warriors book. And I'm not sure when that book is going to come out because I still have a long way to go in writing. But Reiki, when I was attuned to Reiki, the Reiki master, quote unquote, they perform a ritual. And what this ritual entails is with their finger and their intent, putting these symbols in my auric field over my form. That's one step. I don't know exactly what it is. I never made the master's attunement to learn this part of the ritual. And when the person who did this to me performed that, I felt the shift of energy. And at that point in time, I just thought I was feeling the energy. It felt so good. It made me feel powerful that I didn't question it. And then once I had the initial attunement, there is, and this is something I'm going to debunk right here. They tell you that your body has an energy channel. In the body where this energy channel is, they go in and they unlock the energy channel so the Reiki energy can flow through your body. Now, when the person was doing this to me, I could see, and I had my eyes closed, but I could see in my mind's eye what she was doing to me energetically. And I could see this channel. But what threw me off was because she told me that at every chakra point there was almost like a flip valve, and I could see it in my mind. And she was sealing those valves open to keep this channel open for the Reiki energy to flow through me. But what threw me off is that there was one point in there that didn't align with any known chakras. You know, they say you've got the 7 chakras, blah, blah. But when it later became apparent to me that that third chakra, or not the third chakra, the heart-mind chakra that I talk about in my book that is not known in all the chakra ancient bullshit that they talk to you about. I've never heard anybody but me ever mention this, or Endel. Anyway, so this channel is sealed open and this energy comes through me, or the Reiki practitioner, it's there. Well, because I was told this information and I saw this channel when she was doing it to me, and I was very, very early on my path when this happened, that became a filter for me. And so because I saw this channel there, it didn't necessarily feel right, kapoople, but I saw it and I felt good, so I believed it because I saw it when I was going through this process. Upon later analyzing my own experiences and doing the work that I've done with other people, I've never seen this energy channel in other people's bodies, especially if they hadn't been attuned to Reiki. So when I would use Reiki when I first started learning, I didn't like channeling the energy through my body, because what I would see would happen through the energy is very erratic, and hand positions do not matter. You can sit there and cup your hands over somebody's head. That doesn't mean that's where the energy is going to go. If you don't have the mental thought to control the energy is going to do whatever the energy is going to do, whether it's Reiki energy or sun energy or water energy, or regardless of any kind of energy. It's going to do what it's going to do, and it takes you with your mind control to direct the energy. It has nothing to do with the hands or the feet or any part of your body. You do it with your mind, and only your mind. That's how I knew that some of the teachings was just bullshit, because what they were the information didn't jive with what I was seeing, and it didn't jive with my experience. So anyway, I didn't feel comfortable using my body as a channel, because I noticed that the energy was easier to control if I channeled it straight to the person rather than through my body. getting my attunements, because I did go to the second level. My PSOYCA made damn sure I didn't get the master's attunement, because there's no telling what kind of shit they put on you when you get your master's attunement. Everything within it is a form of ritual. The energy itself, I have intuitively tried to read this energy for years and years and years and couldn't get any information on it whatsoever. I couldn't find a source for it. And typically, your PSOYCA does not necessarily know everything. But your PSOYCA, or you, have the capability to get a lot of answers on a lot of things. And then there's a lot of things that just absolutely you're not going to get an answer to. And I tried for years and years and years to find out the source of this energy. And the reason I couldn't find it, because there was no natural source. I had in my mind, my filter, that it was a naturally sourced energy that was given by somebody to Dr. Usui. But because the questions I was asking was geared towards a natural state rather than a contrived energy, I never got an answer on where it came from until I asked the question, is this a naturally sourced energy or is it a created energy? It's a created energy. Anytime that you encounter anything, energy is either conscious energy or non-conscious energy. And the difference between that is sentience. Our PSOYCAs are conscious energy. It's sentient. There's other energies like planets, stars, things in nature that are also conscious energies. But then there's also energies that are non-consciousness that are used oftentimes in different kind of energy work. And those energies are typically neutral. And when I say neutral, there's no intent in them. They're not good, they're not bad, they're not evil, they're not joyous. They are just plain energy. It's like water until you put Kool-Aid in it, or water until you run it over coffee beans, or water until you dip a tea bag in it. It's just water. It takes something else to make it something else. And with energies that are not consciousness, it takes intent. Whether the intent is good or bad or not is irrelevant, but it takes intent to be put in those energies to make that energy do something. So as I look back over my own experience with Reiki energy, there were many times that I would be out in public and the energy would start flowing through my form and it would be going out to other people. And I could see this not only in my mind, but with my eyes, and I could see where it was going to their body. And there was nothing I could do to control it. I couldn't shut it off. I couldn't stop it. And being that I personally never channel the energy through my form, the fact that it was coming through my form and there was nothing I could do about it, that right there tells me it is a program. An energy is not a non-conscious energy. Let me put it that way. A non-conscious energy is not going to act on its own accord unless it has instructions, intent within it to make it do that. So, like I said in the Keep Your Hands to Yourself video, we trespass on other people all the time with our energies. And having an energy affixed to your physical body and to your consciousness that has a written program that is not something that you did, and it goes to other people and you don't know what it's doing to those other people, that is a major form of trespass. And every person who is attuned to Reiki, whether you consciously use it or not, whether you are doing energy healings on other people or not, it's still, because of the way it's been programmed, it is still trespassing on others by turning itself on with or without your consent. This is what makes it so scary, because most people do not know this. Most people do not get this. And there's a lot of Reiki practitioners who will defend this shit tooth and nail because of the information only. And that information has put filters on them that they can't see beyond their own experience because of those damn filters. I know many people that have been attuned to Reiki, and after working with them and have them downloading these higher frequency energies from stellar sources that are, of a higher frequency, that once they elevate their personal vibration, that energy starts having negative effects on their physical form. And that's because the energy in and of itself is a lower 3D frequency anchor. You know, anytime that you have resistance, it's going to cause nausea or headaches or something like that. And if these energies are anchoring your personal vibration to the lower end of the frequency, even though you're trying to elevate that vibration, when these higher frequencies are working to elevate your personal vibration, that resistance causes those bad symptoms. And I've seen many people walk away from it because of what I've experienced right there. I've had people who have gone to see somebody else, not necessarily to get Reiki done, but some other kind of healing work done, and ending up with Reiki energy being used on them, whether it's purposeful of the person using it or whether it turned itself on, and having a very bad negative reaction. So I know that a lot of Reiki people or healing people are probably, if they started listening to this, they've probably stopped listening by now, which is, you know, that's their problem, not mine, but it's also to their detriment and every single person around them. So if you are a Reiki practitioner and you are still listening to this presentation, here's the questions I want you to ask yourself. Is this energy contrived? Is this energy harmful? Does this energy act on its own accord without my consent, operating through my body? Is this energy holding back my frequency capabilities? Is this energy a program that has harnessed my consciousness? And if you are honest with yourselves and you listen to your PSOYCA will answer those questions, and you're going to find out exactly how controlled and manipulated you have been by the mere attunement through that ritual of that energy. Now, for those of y'all who are healers and you do have a natural desire to work with energy, some of you know how, some of you don't. Some of you are already working with other energies, some of you aren't. Your PSOYCA knows how to work with energy. This isn't a situation of you having to learn to work with energy. This is a situation of you having to remember. I know it's very hard for people to comprehend remembering because we are operating through this form, and when we remember something in this form, there's things that happen with the body. Sometimes we get smells, sometimes we get, visual images when we're recalling a memory. PSOYCA remembering isn't necessarily going to portray itself to you in that way. It's going to be a knowing. After I got my attunement, I had crew there with me and they were working with me, and I asked them, because my Reiki guide that was supposed to help me out with it wouldn't answer my questions. I started asking questions of my crew, and they are the ones that showed me how to actually work with energy. The teachings didn't teach me that. And as they're showing me this, I start remembering. It's like, hey, I know what I'm doing here. I know how to work with this. I know how to do this because I was remembering. There was no visuals. It was just a solid knowing of what to do with the energy. And it's that internal work that I've done with my PSOYCA and with my crew out there to learn how to work with energy. And this is how I've learned how to read energies. And this is how I've learned how to distinguish the subtle differences between the different energies. And this is how I'm trying to help others who have that desire, who have that inner knowing that they're here to work with energies and do this type of healing work, is because I've remembered. I haven't learned it from some homogenized, organized religion or some homogenized and organized modality. I've learned it by remembering. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the comments. I know this is kind of ran a little long, but there's really a lot to this story. Sometimes we just cannot encompass information into a 10-minute presentation. So for everyone's listening, and I want to thank all of our subscribers and welcome our new subscribers. I'm Gemma Beall. Stay the course and don't give up on yourself.